Putting decides whether you shoot 68 or 72, 79 or 85. Today I'm going to show you exactly how I train putting, the same routine I've used on tour for years. It's not complicated, but consistent. The key is doing the same thing over and over, keeping the same rhythm and tempo. That's how you perform under pressure. Let's get started. So a good putting routine usually consists of 3 elements: start line, pace, and performance. And that's the structure we're going to keep today. Start line, pace, and performance. We had a little bit of a 4 over here, but that's okay. At least they shouted. And really, if you use this structure, the drills can be different from what I'm doing today. They're just examples. I usually mix these up in different ways. But if you have this structure, you're making sure you get all the elements. You're making sure you check your start line. You're making sure that you're practicing the pace consciously. A lot of people don't like to practice pace specifically because they say, well, when I'm practicing, I will get it dialed in. And that's true to an extent. But if you practice it consciously, you're aware that you're practicing the pace, I find that it becomes more natural when you're out on the course. You don't have the excuse of, I don't know the pace. And performance is very important. We always need to add some sort of element of pressure when we're putting. So step number 1. I always start out with start line to make sure that I'm actually starting the ball where I want to, where I'm aiming where I want to, that my setup is consistent, that it's the same. Normally I would do this using a steel mirror from Short Game Gains or a chalk line, but today we're not using any tools. We're only using tees and the balls that we have here, something that all of you guys have, so there are no excuses not to do this. So our first drill, I've set 2 tees here as a gate for the putter, just a little bit wider than the putter. Then I've set another tee just a foot in front of the tees here. And we're using a tee, not a hole here, because we want more feedback. That tee is going to tell us exactly where we are hitting that tee. If we're hitting it in the center, it'll bounce back to us. If we're hitting a little bit left, it's going to go left, and vice versa. And obviously, if we're not at it at all, we're going to miss the tee. It's usually important that we always hit the center. Tee is about this wide of the face. When we're putting, it's a lot wider than that. Now, when I have my mirror, I can always be sure that my eyes are where I want them to, because it's a mirror, so I can see, am I straight over the ball or not? But I'm going to give you the world's easiest tip to check where your eyes are. I'm left eye dominant, so what I do is I grab the butt of the putter like this, and I let it hang freely. I'm not controlling it in any way here, I'm just letting it hang freely. This putter shaft is going to go straight down, and I'm going to keep it just left of my eye. And that is going to allow me to see where this shaft is going down. And so from where I'm standing right now, this looks like a pretty good idea of that I am straight over the ball. If I'm not, you guys are obviously going to be able to see it in the video. But I've done this for many years, and it's something you can also do out on the course to give yourself a quick little check. So we're straight over the ball, and from here, we're not going far. But we're just trying to hit the center. First one, hitting it a little bit to the right. Right in the center of that tee. Comes back to us. A little bit to the right again. A little bit to the left. And every putt here I'm checking. Okay, I have a line on my putter. Does it match? When I think I'm aiming straight at the tee, am I hitting the center of it? And once you're comfortable here, feeling like, okay, I'm aiming at the tee, and I'm starting it at the tee, and I'm hitting it fairly square in the center. Once we get to that position, what I like to do is I like to move around a little bit. I move away from the gate for the putter, but I'm still very close, still about a foot from it. But I want to hit it from different angles. Because when we're on the course, we can't decide all the time which angle we're going to be putting from, and we're going to be standing in different slopes. It's the same here. So going around a little bit like that. You can go a little bit further, but I don't think that's hugely important. We're just getting started here, making sure that our start line is correct. Okay, so for our next drill here, this drill is about getting the pace right. No matter if we're just practicing or if we're getting ready for a tournament, the pace is hugely important for us to have correct when we're practicing putting and when we're playing. I've gotten the question a lot of times from younger players and amateurs that ask me what I do when I just can't see the lines. It's very common. I got a great tip from my coach many years ago. I remember I was playing a 36-hole day and I played the first 18 in even par, and from tee to green I had one of my best rounds of the year so far. But quickly in the lunch I was doing my stats and I could see that I was -5 strokes gained on the green. So I was bleeding shots on the green. Now what I did instead is I called my coach and I said, what can I do? And he told me, are you lining the ball up? I said, yes. He said, are you trying to make the putts? I said, of course, I'm trying more than ever. And he just told me, stop trying to make the putts, stop lining it up. The next round, just go out, and instead of focusing so hard on making the putts and lining it up correctly, just try to get the pace right. Probably not gonna make more putts the first couple of holes, but just try to get that pace right. And you're gonna notice over time that you're gonna stop putting so much pressure on each individual putt to go in, and just try to get that pace right, that you're gonna start hitting the putts better. And eventually, when you get that pace right, that's when you can start seeing the lines. If you're one of those people that say, I can't see the lines today, I can't see where that ball is gonna go in, no matter what I do, I'm gonna miss this. So now the second drill here, pace drill, my favorite pace drill, super easy to do, is from Jon Carlsen, a Norwegian putting coach that works with players on the PGA Tour, the European Tour, and basically he's working with the best putters in the world, and he's worked a lot with the Swedish golf team, and that's where I got this drill from. It's called the 6-8-10 ladder drill. So I've set it up here. We have 3 tees going to this hole, which is a pretty straight uphill putt. Then we have 3 tees from here going to the reverse hole that's going downhill. We're gonna go 3 laps. We're gonna putt 6 meters uphill, 6 meters downhill, 8 meters uphill, 8 meters downhill, 10 meters uphill, 10 meters downhill. So every putt we're alternating going uphill and downhill, and we're doing 3 laps. So for this I have 2 balls here, you just need 1 ball. There's a point system to this too. So if you make the putt, you get a -1. If you hit the putt past the hole and within 3 feet, you get 0 points. If you hit it short or more than 3 feet by the hole, you get 1 point. Obviously you want to get as low of a score as possible here. And I know the record belongs to Joakim Lagergren, who won this year on the DP World Tour, and just this week the past week had a top 5 finish at the Dunhill Links. He has a score of -9. So it's 18 putts total. He had 9 putts that were past the hole within 3 feet, and he made 9 putts. Well, let's get started. I'm not gonna make you guys watch the whole drill, but we're gonna go through a lap, and I'll just summarize for you at the end how I did. So we're starting out going 6 meters or paces uphill. Okay, so not so close to going in. I usually am not super thorough with reading these putts. This is more about pace for me. But this putt, you can clearly see 1, 2, 3 up here that is within the range. So that's a 0 pointer. 6 meters downhill now. This is where the adjustment comes in. Yeah. And so overestimation. This putt is well short, so that's going to be 1 point. So after 2 putts, my score is 1. 8 meters uphill. Good pace. So another 0. Now we're back to the downhillers. 8 meters. And that's short again. So that's another 1 pointer. Now it's the 10 meters going uphill. So this one I gotta give it a real good kick here to get it all the way. Is it gonna get there? Just about. Yeah, so it's past the front lip. That's a 0. And the last one, I hope I'm still in the frame here. 10 meters downhill. Sit. 1, 2, 3. Yeah. So just in. So on that first lap, I had 4 putts that were past the hole within 3 feet. So all 0s. I had 2 putts that were short, both 1-pointers. So I got 2 points on that lap. This is a fantastic drill to do whenever you get to a new course. But just for a warm-up too, it doesn't necessarily have to be that you line up the tees if you're just warming up. But to do structured practice, this is great. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now for the third section, we're moving in to more of performance putting. We're gonna do 2 drills here. This first one is probably the easiest drill in the world, but if you do it over time, it's gonna yield fantastic results and it's gonna make you a killer when it comes to those testers. So I'm making a circle here of 5 tees, all placed from 4 feet. And this drill could not be less complicated. We're gonna go 5 laps around here. So 25 putts in total. This is not a must-make drill. I know a lot of players and coaches say they love to put these must-make drills in, but for me, when we're out on the golf course, there is no must-make. It's either you make it or you don't. If you don't make it, you still have to live with it and move on. And so this drill is basically you're playing for a score. Every putt you make, you get 1 point. So if you make all 25 putts, your score is 25. If you start out missing the 3 first putts, the best score you can get is 22, and you gotta fight for it. Just like on the golf course, it's so easy for us to get numb as soon as we miss a putt on the first hole, and then we miss a putt on the third hole, and we think it's just not my day. That's not how golf works. It's exactly, basically, people like to compare golf to life, and sometimes you're gonna get knocked down, sometimes you're gonna miss putts that you should make, but you have to move forward and you have to put the same effort into the next one. And if you get really good at this, you're gonna get a great score on this. Personally, I've kept track of my scores on this for years, and my average is usually somewhere around 22. You're adding up a huge number of putts. I think I have thousands of 4-footers every year that I hit, and doing that gives you a huge amount of confidence even when you're out on the course. And having a 4-footer, hitting it very short or hitting it too hard doesn't become a big deal. And a huge part of becoming better at golf is being able to deal with these situations. So this drill is the easiest drill you can do. It takes less than 10 minutes. I'm not gonna make you watch the whole thing here, but we'll hit a couple of putts, and we'll see if I can make 25 or not. So first lap, 4 out of 5. It also goes to say, same thing as with the pace drill here. We're doing the same lap. So hypothetically, you should become better each lap. The final and my favorite drill is called the drawback drill. And the absolute best way to do this drill is in a match against one of your friends. I can't tell you how many lunches I've won or lost, or little bets that I've done doing this drill. We usually do 6 holes in multiple matches. You can do 9 holes if you want. Again, it's a super simple concept. We're gonna do 6 holes. Every time you have to hit another putt. So if you don't make your first putt, you're gonna do a 1 club length drawback. And if you miss your second putt, obviously you're doing it again. Third putt, same thing. I've seen 7 putts, 8 putts, 9 putts in this. It's truly a test of mental resilience, and it forces you to concentrate on every putt because you have to finish that hole. It makes you a very strong putter mentally, but as well technically. So let's see how we do here on a couple of holes. Go, go. So now, if we were on the course, that would be just a tap in. But now we're gonna do a 1 club length drawback, and it's gonna be a tester. So first putt, just a foot short. Now we're moving it back, so it's about 4 feet instead. Okay, we'll do one more hole before we wrap this up. A little bit longer putt here now. And when you're doing this drawback drill, vary the distances that you do. You can do short putts for this too, to a very hole that's in a lot of slope, or you can do a long putt. The big part in this is that there's a lot of variation. It becomes course-like. Whoa, I roasted it. Okay, so now a difficult putt's gonna get even more difficult. So 1 club length back, full focus here now. If I make this, it's for you guys watching this video. Devastation. Okay, a 3 putt, that's okay. The huge part here is just to have the patience, and the courage to keep your discipline, especially if you're playing this against someone else. This can get pretty nasty. I've seen breakdowns. I've had some breakdowns on my own, and we're just on the practice green. If we do this, we're gonna become hugely mentally resilient when we're putting, and we're gonna become great at those testers. Okay, so that's gonna wrap up my putting routine. We use no tools. I usually do use a steel mirror. I like to use my chalk line. I'm gonna do more videos where I'm also using this, but in this first video, when we're just talking about my putting routines, how I organize a putting session, I think this is a great starting point. And if you can do this, it doesn't have to take a bunch of time, but it's just gonna make your putting practice a little bit more organized, and you're gonna see big results in your putting. If there's anything that you're wondering about this, please leave a comment. If there's anything that you want me to do in another video, please drop a comment as well. If you haven't subscribed yet, please do subscribe. We're uploading videos every week, and I do take requests from you guys if there's any sort of challenge, someone I should challenge, and if there's anything that you need help with in your game, I'll make sure to get back to you and make maybe a whole video on it. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video.